Hello and welcome. Carrie here from Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet. Thankful, grateful, blessed for all of these amazing, wonderful individuals on the call tonight. We've got one heck of a call for you. Adam Carnivore today, Alia Wells, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Lisa Wiedemann. How's it going, everyone?
Fantastic.
Awesome and amazing.
We have a live stream in store for you. This is going to be some good stuff. We're here to answer any questions you have. Post them in the sidebar. We're here to make some big announcements, some exciting announcements. It's awesome. It looks like the chat's already blown up. Dr. Tony Hampton's in the chat. Coach Lisa Pickert, Luther Carnivore. Wow. So we're going to have a couple announcements. I know people are jumping on right now. While you guys are jumping on, I just wanted to mention, I got to give a huge shout out to Dr. Robert Kiltz. You're absolutely incredible. Huge shout out to Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, who we filmed last week for the documentary. Absolutely incredible. Dr. Kiltz has been such an amazing supporter of Healing Humanity, traveling all around the world, going to our meetups, just supporting us. It's been absolutely incredible. So, and one of the announcements we have, for those of you that don't know, we'll talk about in a little bit. We've got a big event coming up in Tampa, and Ali has got some additional announcements around that big event. Yes. But in the meantime, before we jump to that real quick, I want to get the chat going. Fire up the chat with your best questions for Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Wiedemann, Alia, me, Adam, and use hashtag tribe for Kiltz Mighty Tribe. Hashtag tribe with your question, and we're going to be giving away a Healing Humanity t-shirt. You can see it on the screen right there, the black Healing Humanity t-shirt. We're going to randomly pick someone tonight, but you have to use hashtag tribe. And also, you have to do one other thing. You have to go and follow Dr. Robert Kiltz, Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, Alia, Adam. I have links in the description for all of these wonderful individuals. And the last thing I'll say before I keep rambling is there's a couple of other pretty awesome individuals that may be jumping in tonight for a little bit. So spoiler alert, we'll have to see how that goes, but that should be pretty fun as well. So hashtag tribe, and we're going to give away one of those shirts, but start posting your questions. So Alia, you want to give a little announcement? Should we talk a little bit about the big event?
Let's talk about Tampa. So Texas Day Brazil 3 days ago was completely sold out. We had 100 seats available. We completely sold out. I called yesterday. I explained our situation. More people want to come. And so we've got 50 more seats available, but that's all we get because they have other events happening that day at the same time. So we actually have half of the restaurant and all of the patio. I put the link in the chat.
They better bring an extra cow in.
Right? they have no idea what's coming. Those poor people.
No idea what's Shut down the salad bar, folks.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, but why don't you want desserts? I'm like, we don't eat desserts. And they're like, well, What about sodas? No, we don't do sodas. What about coffee? I'm like, okay, keep coffee. Just because I know some people will want the coffee. By Monday, we're going to have a finalized location, and we're actually going to start the meetup at 8 in the morning. I mean, that's when the doors are going to open. Monday, we're having a finalized location. So if you have bought a ticket or will buy a ticket, we're actually starting at 8 a.m. for Texas Day Brazil. Can I say one more thing? And I keep calling it Dr. Kiltz's birthday party, but I don't know when his birthday is. But he's having a party at his house.
Every day.
Yeah. Dr. Kiltz's birthday party is on February 7th. And if you would like to go to that, we are selling tickets. All of that is going to Healing Humanity. You can reach out to me if you want to upgrade your ticket, or if you just want to do it, you can sign up at the sign up link. There you go. Those are, I think, all my announcements so far. That's it.
Thank you, Alia.
Or email me. Or you can call me, whatever.
Kiltz Meetup. KiltzMeetup.com is the site, right? I know you posted it.
Yeah. Kiltz Meetup. Sorry for watching from Dr. Kiltz's channel. It's pinned.
Awesome. It's scrolling on the bottom of the page. KiltzMeetup.com. And huge thank you. This is incredible, Dr. Kiltz. I think you're a little crazy. It's so amazing of you to do this. We really appreciate it.
This is the most important thing for all of us is Healing Humanity, and really encourage everyone to support Carrie and Adam and their hard, dedicated work to create this movie which really has some work to be done because editing, and this is not inexpensive. And so my intention is all proceeds are going to Healing Humanity. And if we can boost it up, my intention is up to $100,000 this year. So I think that is important for all of us to realize that this stuff doesn't happen without each and every one of you, because what we're doing is investing in our health, our family's health, and our future family health. So I encourage everyone, join up, come on in.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Wow.
Thank you so much,
Absolutely
Dr.
amazing.
Kiltz. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. We couldn't do it without you. Just to give a quick update on the documentary, we just filmed Dr. Lisa Wiedemann last week, and she was the 9th doctor expert that we filmed. So we've been working very hard. It was a huge milestone, and we've completed, how many interviews is it, Adam? I always ask Adam. I'm losing track at this
You always
point.
ask me, and I never know the actual answer. I think 45.
45 interviews. The point I wanted to make real quick for those that are watching, because people are always asking, when are you guys going to be done with this documentary? We are on the home stretch. 45 interviews done, just a handful remain. And we only get one shot at this. We want to do the best job possible. And as Dr. Kiltz told me, that really inspired me over a year ago. The day before I went to film Bill Knott, the first person in the documentary, Dr. Kiltz said, it's the documented stories that matter. And it's been stuck with me ever since. These stories are so important. And it's bigger than me. It's bigger than Adam. It's getting these stories out to the world. And we're so close. But as Dr. Kiltz said, there's a long way to go in terms of color grading and editing and marketing and getting it out. Most documentaries of this caliber cost millions of dollars, and we're doing it for a fraction of that. But I think it's going to be a lot better than some of those ones that you've seen out there, just because of the stories that are within. So awesome. Thank you guys so much. So everyone, make sure go visit kiltzmeetup.com. Learn more if you want to sign up. But my encouragement would be, if you're interested in doing this, because we've done a lot of these meetups now, people tend to wait till the last minute. You're going to lose out if you wait till the last minute. The tickets are going to go and you're not going to have a spot. And this happened in Chicago. The Chicago meetup sold out as well, and we ran out of tickets. So if you're interested in doing it, you should probably act on it. And I want to just show this last graphic here, because this is an incredible lineup. This isn't just a meetup, right, Dr. Kiltz? Look at this lineup of individuals. This is crazy. This is like a carnivore conference. It's not even a meetup. We got Dr. Philip Ovadia, Dr. Boz, Adam, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Ritter, Dr. Lisa, Dr. Nelson, and Bella, Steak and Butter Gang. It's going to be an incredible get together. Dr. Kiltz, I have a quick question for you.
Throw it my way.
Why do you love these meetups so much?
Well, it gives us a chance to meet each other, and we're listening and learning from the stories that everyone has to share. And in-person meetups, I think, are so important. This is great, but we still love to connect with people face to face. People are going on Dr. Lisa Wiedemann's cruise ship, which is really amazing. And I think that I've met Dr. Hampton, Lisa Wiedemann, you guys. We don't see each other physically. These meetups are masterful. You can ask personal stories of each other, but people get up, they share their story, and the more you document it, the more you share, the more you realize that we Lions are not alone. There are many more out there, and you learn how to do it in different ways and supporting each other for true health and wellness.
Absolutely. Hey, should we let a special guest in right now? A little surprise guest?
No. Yes.
Yes.
Hey,
oh,
Bella.
Yay.
Hi. Aw, Lisa. Hi.
Hi.
Dr. Kill.
Hi,
Adam,
Bella.
Carrie, love you guys. Thank you for having me. So sorry I'm late.
No worries. We're so happy to have you. Huge shout out, Bella, Steak and Butter Gal. This is pretty awesome, because the bottom of the screen right now are 3 individuals that are actually in the documentary. So for those of you that don't know, there's like 600 people on here right now. We filmed Bella out in Austin and her incredible story. We filmed Dr. Kiltz out in Austin. We filmed Dr. Lisa Wiedemann in Chicago last week. So so thankful to have you here, Bella. And it's gonna be crazy. So we're just showing this right here, this lineup This is more than a meetup. It's
Wow.
almost a little carnivore conference or something going on here. It's
Crazy.
one heck of a lineup.
Carrie, we also have Dante. He's going to be added on Monday to the promo. And then I'm forgetting somebody else. There's like 2 other people. Dante.
Wow.
Coach
somebody
Lisa.
else. Coach Lisa, thank you. Coach Lisa's going to be there. So, yeah, it's crazy.
That's
awesome.
incredible.
And this is one of the unique opportunities to meet people like Bella, like Lisa, that really share stories that are remarkable. And by seeing individual stories, we're all motivated to do better. And I know I've learned from each of them in healing my life even better.
Awesome. All right. There's a bunch of questions coming in. Should we jump on some questions now?
Sure.
Rock on.
If
Awesome.
anyone has a question, as I said earlier, please post it with #tribe. #tribe, and we're giving away a Healing Humanity shirt a little bit later in the call, but post your questions for the group here. Let's see what we've got first. Shout out Hoosier Carnivore, gifted 5 Homestead Hall memberships. Thank you so much, Hoosier Carnivore. Really appreciate that. Cranky Carnivore Cutler. Doesn't matter what case the letters for tribe art. No, I don't think it matters. Go with lowercase.
No,
There you
I
go.
can confirm they're not case sensitive.
Awesome. Miss Hooligan Fish, any advice for optical hypertension glaucoma?
All right. Well, so obviously I'm going to take that question. But I have had people report to me after a period of time that they are going into their eye doctor and they're no longer considered a glaucoma suspect, or their pressure is coming down. And I'm just in firm belief, after all of the stories, testimonials, anecdotes that have been coming toward me regarding vision, that this is a way of life that is healing for the entire, all organ systems. It's our bodies are not just, pinpointing one thing, like, oh, my joints got better, but my eyes just sat there doing nothing. I mean, it's just, I feel like our bodies are here to evolve. Our bodies are always moving in the direction of health, as long as we get out of its way and remove all the toxins. So yeah, there's absolutely, I just say, be consistent, stick with it, and vitamin P for patience, and have hope and envision yourself well.
Good stuff. Thank you, Dr. Lisa. All right. Next question we have. Lori, for Dr. Kiltz, please plan a Colorado meetup.
It's happening. It's happening. We'll put it on the calendar for sure. Denver is coming.
Denver, let's do it.
Or maybe we'll do Vail, Lisa.
I know. I was thinking we got to do a carb sober ski.
Yes, yes, yes.
Awesome.
Amy Hosp. Amy spoke in Austin, or in Arizona. She says, I'm coming to Austin in March. I love speaking in Arizona. Do you have a lineup for Austin yet? I can't wait to see y'all again. Adam, do you know the answer to that question?
Yeah, I do not. So I know that we talked about that where did we talk about that, Rob?
Chicago. We're going to do Austin, probably the weekend of the 8th.
Right. So we have February 8th in Tampa, and then March 8th in Austin. It's like the worldwide carnivore meetup tour. It's pretty awesome. Caleb's Carnivore Quest has a question. Do any of you guys season your meat with anything other than salt? And if not, why? $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Caleb.
Well, seasons are poisonous. They're plants. And so anything other than salt is the season, and butter is the sauce. And that's it for me. I occasionally put a little blue cheese on it, dip, but I don't put it as a dip in the butter sometimes. But it's mostly just butter and salt, because the other stuff is poison.
Yeah, I don't have a particular.
I don't use salt either.
Oh yeah, you don't even use salt, right?
That's right.
I don't have any sort of reaction to spices in general, so that's not an issue for me. But I've just found over the years, now that I'm almost, I guess, just 2 weeks shy of my 16-year carniversary, I've found I've just naturally evolved to using just salt and sometimes no salt at all.
Awesome.
I have a question for Bella.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Could you tell us why you don't do salt?
Yeah, I don't do salt just because I don't crave it. So I don't really need the salt to enjoy my meat. In fact, I actually prefer the flavor of just plain non-salted, non-peppered, seasoned meats. And I typically eat my meat pretty blue rare, like almost raw with a nice hot sear. So I suspect I'm getting a lot of the electrolytes that I need just from the meat.
Everything's there. I agree.
Yeah.
Bella, did you find that you kind of gradually went to with more rare meat as you got further along in your carnivore journey?
Definitely, because I was pretty afraid to eat the meat because 6 years, no meat, completely vegan. My first meat dish, I just had ground beef and I cooked it really thoroughly. When I started eating steak, I started off eating it more medium rare, medium well, just because I was a little bit afraid. But over time, all I craved was rare, blue rare, sometimes even raw.
Nice. Yeah, I found that for myself as well. And Dr. Kiltz treated us to an amazing dinner last week, and it was blue rare, and I'm hooked now. It was incredible. I'm still have a smile on my face from that meal, Dr. Kiltz. That was incredible.
Oh, wow.
And I believe that the rare to raw is healthier for us than anything more cooked.
Yeah.
And even the raw oyster curry, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
That was a big first. Yeah. All right, Nola, Carnivore Daryl. Dr. Kiltz is awesome. He tried to give us the shirt off his back at Hack Your Health. Catherine has a question. How do you transition to carnivore without stomach upset? I'm 19 days in and still bouncing between constipation and diarrhea.
Yeah. I'll take it. When I first went carnivore, I had really bad diarrhea, and not to be TMI, but so bad that like I would be in class and I would have to just run out of class to go to the toilet when I first started carnivore, and I had a lot of loose stools. What helped me was to not eat melted fat for some reason, because when I would eat the melted fat or even drink up rendered fat, it caused stomach upset and it almost induced me feeling like I need to go run to the toilet. So I would maybe lay off the fat, especially the melted fats.
Yeah, I think rendered fat is not good for us. I think the raw fat is really what we're meant to eat, because raw fat contains all the natural minerals, vitamins, and the molecular structure is correct. But when you render it, you actually damage it and change it. And I think it just kind of kills the whatever it is in our body. But yeah, I too had those problems. And but you know, it's the best things in life are hard, and simple and easy isn't what this journey is about. And that's been the part of the problem in life. Everyone's looking for simple, easy, and quick, which never gets you the very best in life. So you must suffer a little bit in order to heal up and get the very best.
And I'll add in there that the person's bouncing between constipation and diarrhea, and maybe there's just a little too much in your diet right now. I hate to say that because we feel like we're eliminating so many things when you're only 19 days in, but I would get rid of the dairy too, because that can be constipating. That cannot, it's not beneficial for any autoimmune type issues. And again, it's hard. It's probably one of the hardest things that I deal with is just totally eliminating the dairy, but I would at least do it for a period of time until you get your digestive issues resolved.
So I'd like to add to that. I thought that I was constipated in that period as well, and I was adding more fat. But actually, I wasn't actually constipated. I just wasn't going as much as I had been previously. And to my knowledge, constipation, you know, there's most likely with a lot of people, there's some level of pain associated with it, or some other complication other than just not going. So, you know, I'm not sure if that's exactly what's going on with you, but potentially it's just you're not going as much and you think you're constipated, you're overcorrecting with too much fat and causing the diarrhea issue.
Agreed.
Good
And
stuff.
very few people eat raw fat, and they eat everything's cooked, which I think you're right that just it goes right out. And on carnivore, I mean, you don't have bowel movements as much anymore. There's no bloating or bleeding or hemorrhoids, and very little toilet paper. So we save a lot.
Yeah. I would just add, Catherine, don't get discouraged either, because a lot of people, while they're transitioning to carnivore, it can be a tough first few weeks, but just know it's not permanent. And hopefully you're on the home stretch now and going to get through it. So, all right, we've got a question. Have you had any success with treating POTS? Carnivore for 10 months, little success with decreasing the POTS symptoms.
It's all inflammation. Every disease. So think of poison ivy. Have you ever heard of a poison ivy disease? There's no such thing. You're exposed to poison to poison ivy, and it causes an allergic reaction. So we're just basically damaged by the plants, which cause all this postural orthostatic hypotension and vascular irritability. That I think that carnivore is huge improvement and will cure all these diseases, every one of them.
All right, question.
There was one on, I just saw one on infertility, and I don't know if you're pulling that one up already. Lula Noel asked about that, and so many women are conceiving on carnivore. It's amazing.
Right.
I have a question. This is my question.
Yeah, Ollie.
Dr. Lisa, why can't I wear contacts since I had babies?
So when you say can't wear them, are you saying you've become intolerant of them?
Yes.
Because your eyes are dry, or why?
Itchy, dry. Yeah. I mean, they're not really dry. Like, they're fine since carnivore. Maybe I need to try again since I started carnivore, actually.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, how does that coincide with when did you have the babies and when did you start carnivore? And there's all these different factors. But yeah, the whole lacrimal gland system, a lot of people have inflammatory issues regarding that, meibomian gland dysfunction, meibomitis, blepharitis, which kind of all segues into dry eye. But all of that will improve, and you should be able to tolerate them.
I will try again, because I actually haven't tried in years, but I've done carnivore since then. So there you go. Okay, yeah. That was my question.
Good stuff. Hey, we have almost 1,000 people on the live stream right now. That's incredible.
Can I ask you one more question? It's a question
for
Bella.
Yeah, go for it.
Bella, why should people come and hang with us in Tampa? Why should people come and hang with us in
wow.
Tampa?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I can tell you right now. So I've been a part of this carnivore community for 6 years. I've been carnivore for 6 years. And the best memories that I have made is at these meetups, in-person meetups. I love these in-person meetups. And the first one I've ever been to is Dr. Wiedemann's meetup. She invited me, like when I was 2 years into carnivore, to go over to her home and stay over as well. It was so nice. And I still think about that meetup all the time because I met some of my closest friends there as well. So you just never know who you'll meet, who you'll befriend. And you also get to hang out with all of the incredible people here. So come on.
Yeah, there's something so magical about being actively engaged live in person with so many different people who are trying to achieve optimal health, with us who have been carnivore for a long period of time. And it's indescribable. And I just say, whatever you're thinking as far as do you go, do you not go, I say, get yourself to a meetup. You will be so loving and so actually then addicted, not to sugar and carbs, but now addicted to attending meetups and being able to connect with people. It's all about the connection.
And my first meetup was with Lisa also. And I am like a groupie to all of these. And I just love meeting everyone, and we're sharing, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you my history of the meetup and how I became queen of the meetups is I was only 6 months it was 6 months since I came across this whole crazy group of people that I found on the internet. And they said, hey, we're meeting in Philadelphia at Plataforma. So, of course, it was one of those churrascaria Brazilian restaurants. And I thought, oh, wait, I'm going to go meet some internet people. This is a little strange, but I'm going to do it because I felt a connection with them through the online connection. But then I jumped in, I did it. I drove an hour and a half down to Philly. And I literally walked away from that. It was 20 people, Charles Washington, who, had the Zeroing In on Health Forum. And I can't even describe the feeling that I had coming away from that and how it's so, really drove home to me that I was in the right place with what I was doing. And that I was just going to keep attending at that time as many meetups as I could, which there wasn't many way back then, 16 years ago. But then as, time went, I said, I am going to host as many as I can. So I have now either attended or myself hosted 30 meetups. And
Wow.
so it's all because I'm just so passionate to have everyone connect in this way. And what happens is like what happened in Chicago and all these meetups, you get some people coming in from quite a distance, but many local people who are now making local connections. And now they can have their own mini monthly meetups or whatever. It's connecting and feeling like you have your own new tribe. We call it the tribe. So remember to put #tribe over in the chat for the giveaway.
Yeah, good transition. We have 1,046 people on right now. We're going to be giving away a Healing Humanity shirt. So post your question with #tribe. And let me see the next question we have. Okay, we got some really exciting questions for you guys. I'm glad there's some doctors in the house here. Let's go with the carnivore cure, Todd Bachnes, with the next question, a $10 super chat. Dr. Kiltz, as a doctor, surgeon, you've seen a lot of stuff. Maybe you can answer this question from Todd Bachnes. Will carnivore clear up a third nipple? Asking for a friend.
Todd, it's not going to go away. I'm sorry.
Maybe if he just ups the fat a little bit, no?
I think that's absolutely it. But you might need to see Dr. Wiedemann and maybe fix your eyesight and realize that it's your belly button.
And you know what I'm going to say? We always do. And here it is. Embrace being different.
Yeah.
There you go.
We love Todd. Yep.
That condition is caused by eating too many plants throughout his life leading up to carnivore, I think.
Try scrubbing it really well on a Thursday night. Maybe it'll go away.
Guys, it's for a friend. He's asking for a friend.
Right.
Okay, we've got another super chat. This one from our good friend Russ, Homesick Buckeye. Another great one. $5 super chat. Don't have my glasses on. Is that a self-portrait in Adam's background?
That's me trying to draw you, Russ.
Nice. And then we got Big Bubba Gone Wild. Thanks, guys, for the great info. Thank you for the super chat, Bubba. Really appreciate it. I just did a video. I interviewed Bubba on my channel. Bubba's got a great story. And then we got one from our buddy Chris Stearns, $10 super chat. Right. Deserted island, one food, picanha or ribeye? I'm just stuck on picanha after the Chicago meetup. Thank you all for being beacons of light to those needing healing.
If I had a gaucho coming by slicing the picanha, I would go picanha. But other than that, I'm going to stick with ribeye.
I agree.
With the cap on it.
Ribeye all day for me.
Yep.
Yeah. I recently am so obsessed with picanha because I will crave the picanha from Brazilian steakhouses for some reason. And I think it's the crunchy cap that you cannot get in ribeyes. So when I crave for cartilage, I guess I would go for picanha. As of now, I choose picanha.
Yeah. And it tends to be the rarest one at the steakhouses that I've found. The picanha is the rarest.
Have any of you made picanha yourself at home? Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't done it yet. I can't
have.
find it locally, but Adam and I filmed Laura Spath and Chris Spath about a week or two ago. And we had to get B-roll of them cooking. There's nothing we could do about it. And so Chris cooked us up some picanha on the grill, and it was incredible. I would have rather had that than ribeye, but otherwise my answer is normally ribeye. Ribeye or picanha if it's Chris Spath making it, because he knocked that one out of the park.
I'm going to say
All right.
picanha because I can never find a ribeye in Colombia. I don't know how they don't know how to find that cut on the cow, so it's only picanha.
Good stuff. All right, how about we give away a shirt real quick, and then we'll jump back into some more
Yeah.
questions. And real quick, follow everyone that's on here, please. I have a link to Bella's channel, Dr. Rob, Lisa, Alia, Adam, in the description below. So follow all of them, and then we're gonna do a couple giveaways here with the questions. But right now, we're giving away a Healing Humanity shirt, and let's do this. Here we go.
Oh, fun.
Drum. We need the drum roll sound effect. The winner of a Healing Humanity shirt is Mandy. Congratulations, Mandy. You have won a Healing Humanity
Yay!
shirt. Adam,
Congrats, Mandy.
how can Mandy claim her shirt, Adam?
Well, Carrie, Mandy can go to healinghumanity.movie/giveaway and fill out the form there, and we will promptly get your prize to you. Congratulations.
All right. Should we do another giveaway?
Yay!
Well,
Why
how
not?
about we'll do a Redmond's salt shaker, $20. Hashtag salt with your question. Hashtag salt, and we'll send you out a portable Redmond's travel size salt shaker. All right. Next question we have is, let me see where I left off here. Comment for Bella. Good to see your smiling face.
Oh, hi. Thank you.
Question: been carnivore 50 weeks, diagnosed with IBS, still struggling. Any suggestions appreciated?
Well, I would make sure you get examined and checked, because if it's persistent, there may be something else going on. And then the other question is, are you really doing fatty meat, and you might go more rare to raw? And I would throw in some prolonged fasting, because I think that's something people miss in this. Protein is fermentable. As long as you're eating a cooked, leaner meat, you're going to ferment. The bugs, the bacteria, yeast, and viruses in our gut are not good for us. They love to ferment your protein. And there's something called protein poisoning. But always get checked and make sure nothing else is going on. But fatty meat, salt water, and more fasting.
And then we can add in there, if you're eating a lot of dairy and cheese, to try eliminating that, because that's usually something that's going on.
Yeah, go Lions diet, Kayla Peterson.
Absolutely. Yeah, that always seems to help people. I always tell people too, don't feel like, oh, I got to do lion diet the rest of my life. Maybe try it for a week, just switch things up and see what happens. Thank you for that question. We have a question from Melissa. What should a woman's testosterone be after 50 days on carnivore? Went from 20 to 12 free testosterone.
Don't measure it. I mean, there's such variability in it anyway. There's no real evidence that, measuring these things matters. But when you go to carnivore, you feel the very best, and you don't have to measure anything, because then people are going to look at it in any one day and say, oh, maybe I need to supplement. And you probably don't.
All right. Next question is, my eyesight just keeps getting better with HX of MD from both parents and no signs anywhere at 66 years young.
So eyesight keeps getting better with history of macular degeneration from both parents. So again, this is a healing way of life. And I noticed there was another comment earlier in the chat about somebody's prescription reversing 2 full diopters, which is crazy. I haven't actually heard that amount at an eye doctor visit. It's usually half a diopter, 3/4 of a diopter, but 2 is pretty spectacular. And I do feel it's going to hit macular degeneration too.
All right. Another question for Dr. Lisa. Might you sometime organize a cruise leaving from the West Coast?
I definitely will, because I can already tell with the excitement that's happening in my group of Bella. We have 150 people joining us on the ship.
Oh my gosh.
2 weeks from
So
today.
excited.
Yeah. So I am going to do a cruise out of New York City in September to go up to Halifax, Nova Scotia to the fall foliage, and also out to Bermuda from New York. And then, yeah, I'm going to plan one off the West Coast so that I can grab the West Coasters who might not want to fly all the way over here to cruise with us.
Right. Bella, have you been on a cruise before?
I have when I was, I think, 14. So I didn't get to experience a carnivore cruise. So this will be my first carnivore cruise and the first one with my husband. So we are so excited.
Nice. That's going to be fun.
Yes.
William is asking, where can I find a personal coach that is available most of the time for questions?
When you say most of the time for questions, I'll say, I do private one-on-one coaching if you're talking about that as a personal coach, but, in all of our member groups that, us here who have groups, you're able to ask questions and, but if you want personal private, that's a different story. Just message us and we'll give you some details on how we can make that happen.
Yep.
Carrie, since we have more people watching, can I just go over the weekend of events really quick?
Yes,
again?
good call out. We have 1,170 people on right now.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Okay, so there's 2 days of events hosted by Dr. Kiltz. On the 7th of February, he's hosting a private barbecue at his house. Tickets for that are $750. That also covers the next day events if you pay that. And all of the profits from that are going to Healing Humanity. So if you'd like to go to that, you can sign up at the link. Or if you have more questions, you can actually just call me and I will answer all your questions. Shoot me an email and we'll arrange how you can call me. The next morning, we are having a meetup and a lunch at Texas de Brazil. By Monday, we're going to nail down exactly the location where the meetup's actually going to start at 8 a.m. And then after that, we're going to go to Texas de Brazil. I found a place. It is a couple minutes away from there. So everything will be finalized on Monday and I will let you know. But 125 gets you to the meetup. In addition to these beautiful people on the screen, we have Dante and Coach Lisa also going to be at the meetup. Yeah, there you go. So that's the update. Make sure you sign up. We sold 75 tickets in a few days. So I convinced the restaurant to give us 50 more seats without buying out the restaurant. So you got to get your ticket very fast. It will go very fast. Do not wait until the day before. They're going to be gone in like 3 days. There you go.
And coming to the evening of the 7th, you're going to get a chance one-on-one to meet all of these experts and one-on-one have that conversation. And that extra donation goes to Healing Humanity. And so it's really radical and important for all of us to support Healing Humanity. And Carrie, where can people go to do an additional donation for Healing Humanity?
Healinghumanity.movie. Healinghumanity.movie. And I just want to say one more time, I'm so humbled. I'm so forever grateful to Dr. Kiltz and everyone here that's joining and supporting us. It's incredible. Dr. Kiltz has been just an incredible supporter of us. I still can't believe you flew all the way out to the UK to join our Healing Humanity event. Then you went to Arizona. You came out to Little Montello movie theater. You came to Chicago, and you've just been an incredible supporter of everything we're doing. Really, really appreciate it, Dr. Kiltz. Thank you so much.
Well, you've saved my life, because otherwise I was just a lonely person on the internet, just finding someone to chat with. So, but it is true. You meet amazing people, friendships developed at no other place in this world. That's so amazing. And Carnivore, they're just caring, amazing people. And everyone's welcome. Vegan, vegetarians, Mediterraneans, pescatarians, and those that are tiptoeing in the carnivore space. It's amazing.
The carnivore energy is incredible. And then when you get in a room with all carnivores, it's indescribable. It's something you have to experience. So I'm really I would do one of these every weekend if we could. I'm really looking forward to it. Speaking of incredible, inspiring carnivores that have great energy, Dr. Nelson, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
You're muted.
You're muted, brother.
We can't hear you.
Ventriloquist.
I don't know if your mic's not working or you're just muted, Dr. Nelson, but we can't hear you quite yet.
He froze, so it might be.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah.
Dr. Nelson is going to be coming as well, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
We should.
definitely.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Wow, we got this is going crazy here. All right, let me see what the next question is. This is for Dr. Kiltz. Trying to help a friend, 39, diabetic, PCOS, plant-caused ovarian syndrome, trying to conceive first child, sent her your protocol, but she is still resistant to trying carnivore.
Well, make sure if she hasn't gotten the Kiltz Ketos Carnivore, and also the baby's book is also on Amazon. But you just keep on being the example and sharing, and be glad to always talk to people directly or indirectly. We have a meetup Mondays at 5:30 p.m. It's a what is it? Zoom meetup. Everyone's welcome, but a lot of it is just keep on sharing, and the stories are out there. So many people getting pregnant, delivering healthy babies on carnivore. It improves sperm, eggs, embryos, uterus, all of it. And plant-caused ovarian sickness. That is the simple, craziest thing. None of this is complicated. It's simple. You don't need all the science, which kind of is snake oil sometimes. I think it's just like, look at Bella and so many others that have just like healed on carnivore. Wow.
It works. Yep.
It works.
Mm-hmm.
Dr.
There's
Nelson.
a couple super chats, Gary.
Okay, we'll hit
Hello.
those.
I can
There he
hear
is.
now. Can you hear?
Hi, Dr. Nelson.
How you doing, Dr. Nelson?
Hello, Bella, Carrie,
Hi.
Adam, Malia,
Hey, how you doing,
Dr.
buddy?
Lisa,
Hello.
my good friend, Dr. Kiltz.
We love you, the real Dr. Nelson. Are we sure, though? Can we be sure it's the real Dr. Nelson?
Awesome. Dr. Nelson, we're looking forward to seeing you down in Florida. Again, this will be our second Florida meetup with Dr. Kiltz, right? Wow. Awesome. All right, we've got a super chat here. $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Carney for 8 months dealing with IBS, insomnia, fatigue, no weight loss, and more symptoms. I haven't seen any improvements yet. I followed the diet perfectly. No dairy, no caffeine, only fat meat. Tried Lion 2 advice.
Is he implying that he's trying to cure or improve IBS, or did he get IBS with this?
I think trying to cure it is my bet in this.
Yeah. I think
You have to go to a meetup. If you haven't been to a meetup, you must go to the meetups, and that will certainly help tremendously. But my bet is that maybe getting back to fatty meat and add fasting, and rare to raw is like, I mean, I do raw, dry age it or not. Some people don't do all dry age, but it and the other is make sure you get checked, make sure there's something else not going on.
And make sure that you're active and do an hour of walking every day, because a lot of times people are kind of very sedentary because you kind of get into a routine, especially if you live in cold climates. I know we tend to huddle down, but some weightlifting, and make sure you're getting some walking in too.
And if you watch Dr. Lisa on walking on the beach, that's so nice. She loves to walk and talk. And that's one of the things, you can walk and talk, but the walking is critical. And I am healthy and well is always the mindset. That's one of the things I think so many people I live with, like, I've still got this. We've been taught to label ourselves a disease, which is like ridiculous. You are only poisoned by plants. You're a lion, a lioness. And when you have the mindset, how healthy I am, that'll help on the journey too.
Thank you. We have another super chat here from Caleb. Carnivore Quest. What are everyone's thoughts on cold therapy?
So I'm Chinese. I'll just first share. I grew up not able to be in cold weather because in Chinese tradition, and maybe Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Wiedemann can share their thoughts on this, but in Asian culture, we are very afraid of the cold. So cold weather, even cold floors, we are not allowed to be barefoot on marble floors, cold floors, because at least my mom taught me that it's bad for our QI, like our energy balance almost, and it causes joint pain. So have you ever heard of that?
I must be Asian.
Maybe.
I don't like the cold either.
Well, it's interesting. I just saw some, I can't remember who it was from, about our mitochondria and leaky electrons. And so some people are actually able to generate more heat than others. I'm not one of those that is, I do. Now I do my hot tub and cold pool. If I just go out right to the cold pool, it ain't happening. So I got to be really hot, then I'll get in it, or sauna and cold, which, I don't know where the real data is true on that, but, it's to do something hard. It really feels good, but I don't do the cold as well. I think it's our mitochondrial heat production is different than others and maybe genetically predisposed, in my opinion. Dr. Nelson?
As far as therapy, I think a lot of people use heat and cold or medic stress, basically. Might be beneficial for the body, but not everybody likes it. And not everybody has access to the proper thing. When I take a shower, I start with as hot as possible, and I finish for at least 3 minutes with as cold as possible. Now, I live in Florida, and it's not very cold, or it could be very hot, and plumbing is on the ground. So in the summer, the cold water is not going to be as cold. But in the winter, it can make you shiver after 2 or 3 minutes of that. And I use that. I do notice, because I wear a CGM, my blood sugar will go up a little bit after doing that.
And
which
for me,
is the proper response, by the way.
I was going to say, for me, I have not yet taken in enough information to convince me that there's enough benefit to overcome my not wanting to get into a cold tub. That's where I stand right now. But I keep an open mind, and there's not to say that at some point in the future I might be cold plunging, but nope, not this girl, not now. I'm heading down to the Caribbean.
It's one of those things that 1%. It's one of those things that helps, but I think, I'm convinced now that the diet is like the 80% to improve almost everything. And these things are additional things that may have some positive effects on our life, our bodies, a little hack here and there.
All right. Thank you. We have a super chat from Tony. Any experience with carnivore and it helping with healing long COVID? I'm a registered nurse that worked in the ICU and now have long COVID and have had to stop nursing. Put on lots of weight from the pain and fatigue.
Stress and gaining weight with stress is critical for survival. And being skinny is not our favor in our nature, by the way. And I would say carnivore reduces inflammation. Inflammation is the cause of all disease. The majority of inflammation is secondary to high plant sugars, plant antigens, plant chemicals, and fermentation. And so I would say fatty meat, salt water, fasting, fatty meat, and rare to raw is critical. And my bet is you'll feel better. And I just don't label myself with anything other than I'm healthy and well. And I think that's really, again, the modern medical system wants to label you with the lifetime disease, which you just have plant poisoning, and you move to plants, you'll feel the very best. And if you haven't read this book, you must. And I did connect with Noah Whiteman today, Aaliyah, and hoping to get him on our blog coming up in March.
We'll do it.
It really is. We're simply poisoned by plants. Keep it simple. Even though the metabolic, all this stuff, poisoned by plants. Done. You will heal.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Kiltz. We have 1,250 people on right now. That's incredible.
That's crazy.
And pass the word to your friends, and let's get 2,000 and more. And that's one of the important things. If you're feeling the benefits of carnivore, you need to share it. You need to share it with your family, your friends, and start sharing it online. I think it's important.
Absolutely. So hashtag salt. If you have a question, we're going to be doing a giveaway in a couple minutes for Redmond's travel salt shaker. Hashtag salt. All right. The next question we have is another super chat. This one is from Nav. $10 super chat. Thank you so much for that. Was eating when hungry, so 3 meals a day until full. Now I just started 1 meal a day, so I am fasting. But wondering if that's okay. Carnivores usually recommend eating when hungry and no restricting. Thoughts?
Well, I think fasting is one of the very best things that anyone can do. And it cleans out the bowels. It empties the bowels. And when you empty the bowels, your body has eliminated all the poisons and toxins that come from the GI tract. Yes, we get them from breathing and drinking things, and stuff gets in the skin, but the majority of the causes of disease are from our diet, our plant-based diet. And so I think fasting is remarkable. We do a 5-day fast quarterly, 2 to 3 day fast monthly, and I generally recommend 1 meal a day. You can do whatever you want. This is your life, no one else's. But I really believe that you'll see a new level when you begin to add fasting into your lifestyle.
All right, and we have a huge super chat,
Whoa.
$10,000 from Alia Wells. Thank you,
Dropping the
Alia.
big bucks.
No,
Oh,
Colombian
COP.
pesos.
Thank you, Alia.
When I have the 10,000, I'll be sure to ship it though.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Question: my husband has Parkinson's. Would you please talk about it? Thank you all. I'll say something real quick. One of the individuals, the 45 individuals we filmed for the documentary, is a woman named Mimi, and she was diagnosed with Parkinson's. She also had a full-blown stroke, and she was bedridden for a very long time. And she's training. She just sent me a picture, and it's incredible. She's absolutely ripped. I think she just turned 70, and she's training to hike a 500-mile St. Francis of Assisi trail. And it's like, it's an anecdote. It's one person. I realize that, but she is in our documentary, and we've reviewed her medical records because it's crazy, right? She had full-blown Parkinson's diagnosis, and she's in complete remission. And she's been eating carnivore now for, I want to say 6 years, maybe 4 years. I might be wrong on that, but that's the only experience I have. I don't know if anyone else has any thoughts on Parkinson's.
I'll just say that I have been looking into some alternatives. My mom has a very significant hand tremor, which is not yet fully diagnosed as Parkinson's. So I've been going down the rabbit hole. But if anybody is looking into this kind of thing, it's a very interesting, intriguing information about nicotine and a nicotine patch dramatically helping with tremors and Parkinson's. And it's not the addictive tobacco. We're talking about nicotine, the nicotine component of it. But I just want to throw that out there for somebody to start going down their own rabbit hole with it, because it's really, really intriguing information.
Heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, caffeine are toxic plant compounds which want to control and kill us all. We're all lining up for all those things. ruining lives. And again, I agree with Lisa that there nicotine as a separate drug, but carnivore is a game changer because it eliminates the plant toxins. And name a toxin that comes from a ribeye steak or beef, fatty beef. There isn't any. That is the amazing thing. And cholesterol, it makes you healthy. And all this LDL, HDL, VLDL measurement is all BS of little to no value, in my opinion. We're just going down the wrong road, and it's a dead end. That Occam's razor, simple answer is the one, and carnivore is humongous when it comes to all the neurologic disorders. They're just toxins, and you ferment. Remember, the bugs in the belly ferment to make alcohol. The last I looked, by the way, alcohol is a deadly compound, and the American College of OBGYN recommends alcohol for pregnant lactating women. And so the current medical system we live in is keeping us sick and putting us on drugs, which I think it's up to, all of these people here are sharing stories with people who have healed tremendously. So join us.
Very low carbohydrate diets, ketogenic diets. We've known this now for over 100 years.
Yeah.
First used, by the way, hundreds, maybe thousands of years ago, when there was no hope for any diabetic of any kind, they've always used low carbohydrate diets. But epilepsy was treated in the early 1900s with ketogenic diets. But it's not only epilepsy. Now we are finding out more and more that anything that's brain related, whether it's Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, seizures, or anxiety, depression, bipolar illness, all the metabolic psychiatry that now it's growing so much. And thank God there are more studies and good people like Dr. Palmer and Dr. Eid writing books about it. They all get better with a good ketogenic diet. And what's the lowest carbohydrate diet you can go into? Well, it's carnivore diet, of course. Mm-hmm. That, along with the fact that we're avoiding so much stuff, okay, ultra processed foods in particular, ultra refined sugars and vegetable seed oils and all that, seems to be very good for the brain. And for the brain disorders, the higher your ketones, I know Dr. Kiltz doesn't like to measure things, but the higher your ketones, the better. But you don't even have to measure anything. Low carbohydrate, high fat diet seems to be helping. Can I say that they're gonna get cured? No, but they get better. There seem to be not one anecdote, but hundreds and growing into thousands of anecdotes of people with anything brain related gets better. Dr.
Nelson, I have a question for you. Do humans require?
I have never seen a ketone.
Do humans require plants in their diet at all?
No.
And would you say that fatty meat is actually a physiological requirement for humans for our true health and wellness?
I feel better on it. And by the way, Dr. Lisa, today's day number 6 without coffee.
Yay! Love that.
I was listening to you last Sunday, and I said, I've tried being without coffee other times. I don't go into withdrawal. I don't see any positive or negatives, but I stopped drinking coffee because it is.
We'll let you know later about what we're seeing. By the way, we'll talk about it off camera.
Right. All right. We just surpassed 1,300 people. Hashtags.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a drawing. Make sure to check out. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen there. KiltzMeetup.com. KiltzMeetup.com. If you're interested in joining us out in Tampa. Next up, we have a super chat from my buddy Lash. $5 super chat. Thank you, Lash. Hello,
Hey,
friends.
Lash.
When
Hey,
are we
Lash.
meeting up in SoCal? Miss you all. Yeah, when are we meeting up in SoCal? We'll have to do it at some point.
As soon as
November,
we can.
October, November.
Right?
Somewhere down
November,
there.
Tampa again.
Yeah. Well, we're opening up an office in Irvine, so we'll have to get down there for sure.
Right.
I
Go ahead. Sorry.
I have a question for Bella. Oh, all right, Bella. Let me get this question out. Would
Yeah.
you say that cooking carnivore is easier or harder than standard vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean diets?
I'll tell you right now that it's much faster because it takes me 30 seconds, or like if I do a quick sear, all I have to do is preheat, do a flash sear, done. I can start eating. On vegan diet, I am slow cooking, steaming, baking for up to an hour before I can sit down to eat, only to feel hungry 30 minutes later. So I would say carnivore wins there.
100%. Shout out my buddy Lash. I was just going to say, if you guys haven't heard his story, or if any of these panelists are looking for a good interview, Lash has an incredible story overcoming psoriasis and depression. He saw Michaela Peterson, and just quick shout out. We've talked a lot about the documentary. I see some comments asking when the documentary's done. We'll touch on that in a little bit, but we're also going to be doing a series, Healing Humanity, where we have a whole episode on depression, a whole episode on fertility. And in that series, we're going to be filming Lash and his story with psoriasis. It's absolutely incredible. So shout out Lash. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it, buddy.
Real quick too, Carrie. He also volunteered his time at the last meetup, or one of the last meetups, and took photos for us, and they're absolutely phenomenal. And if you want to see those photos, go to his Instagram, which is carnivore_healing_retreat. I believe that's correct.
Awesome. Good stuff. Caleb's Carnivore Quest. Would you suggest fasting for a 16-year-old?
I think fasting is appropriate. Oh, sorry, Bella. I think fasting is appropriate for everyone personally, but go ahead, Bella.
Yeah, so I actually met Caleb in person, and he looks like he's still growing. And I know that I kept growing up until age 19. I was still growing. So I just wonder, Dr. Kiltz, do you think if fasting maybe hinder growth, reaching full potential of height?
Well, when we talk about fasting, we're talking about a day 2 or 3. I typically do one meal a day. You see, the food you put in your bowels must be converted to fat in the liver and circulated as fat. Glucose that you eat is not the energy of your cells anyway. And I think fasting clears the body of all the toxins and makes you healthier than ever before. Remember, very few people ever go more than a day without food. Almost nobody. I didn't go without food for 55 years until I started fasting in my mid-50s. And I would say it's what we're built for. I was actually doing a little bit of a read earlier and did a little bit of a video on fasting. Most animals fast except for grazing animals, but carnivores do all day long. And I think it's one of the healthiest things you could do. Food freedom. Your body is doing fine without food for a day 2 or 3, easy.
All right. We have a question for Dr. Kiltz. I've had infertility for 14 years. I'm hoping carnivore will help me get pregnant. Dr. Kiltz, how many patients have you seen get pregnant from doing carnivore?
Well, I'm not here to list the numbers. I don't even know how many there are, but the more do carnivore, I'm seeing people all day long, even in their 40s, mid 40s, late 40s, suddenly conceive and deliver a baby when nothing else worked. Remember, we're removing the poisons. Look up goitrogenic foods. All the fruits and vegetables are known to damage your thyroid. They are also known to damage your ovaries, your testicles, your hypothalamus, pituitary, every cell of your body is being damaged by a plant-based diet. Now, why some people lose their reproduction function or kidneys or any other thing, nobody knows. That's the mystery to all of this. Why you and not someone else? But absolutely, carnivore removes the poisons. And by the way, the birth control pill and the abortion pill were discovered or developed out of plants. So, think medicinal and plants, the Spice Islands, and the world's travel exploration was mostly for plants to look for drugs. That was it.
Thank you, Dr. Kiltz. Question for Dr. Lisa. Should I anticipate that my eyesight may improve, stigmatism in both eyes, plus have prescription to CFAR? Is there a ballpark time frame for me to get them rechecked?
Well, I've seen people report to me that even within 6 months, they've had changes in their vision, and to the point where their current glasses aren't comfortable or they're not feeling focused. And so I'd say if you're noticing changes, get them checked at that point. But your annual checkup, it's just going to be mild changes slowly. So it's not going to be anything, significant that will harm or strain your eyes by not having it checked sooner. But if you're noticing anything, I'd say in 6 months. But other than that, I would just stick with your annual exam.
All right. Hello, fellow carnivores. What is the difference between food allergy and food sensitivity?
Well, I think it's so if you want to call it an allergy and say that you have to have hives and itching and symptoms versus a food sensitivity where it just seems like it's a milder form of an allergy. I think either way, if you're reacting to things, I think the most non-reactive things you can eat is meat, seafood, eggs, salt, and water, and you shouldn't have to worry about allergies and sensitivities.
All diseases.
They're probably the same thing, just different. There are different degrees of or intensity of the reaction. Like you said, a mild reaction will be a sensitivity. Some people can tolerate eating something and they don't die. Some other people on the extreme, on the other side, have an anaphylactic reaction, and that could be really bad for people. They're probably degrees along the same spectrum, or you can call it allergies. Even this mild sensitivities is just a mild response.
All right. Question for Dr. Lisa. What more can I do to reverse DMD? My eye doc said to take Alreds 2 and wear sunglasses. Not good advice. Please help.
Gosh. Yeah. So, there's this whole thing about synthetic supplementation, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a believer of it. I have read too much about that AREDS 2 study. There was basically 13 studies done. 12 of them showed no change and some worsening. And the one study out of the 13, they cherry picked and manipulated the data to show an improvement. And it's all for money and all for profit. And I'm not a fan at all of the AREDS 2 and sunglasses. I think that's the worst thing you can do. Our eyes, our skin, our brains need the sun. And when you put sunglasses on, it is telling your brain that it is nighttime. It is blocking all of the beneficial light rays that need to get to your eyes and to your brain. So I'm one of the very, very, very few eye doctors that says don't wear the sunglasses. But just, you have to be confident in your own decision. I know so many people come to me and say, but my doctor says I'm going to get cataracts and worsening of macular degeneration if I don't wear my sunglasses. And I say that's the wrong information, and dig deep and find the truth.
Thank you, Dr. Lisa. We have a super chat coming up. We have 1,405 people on here. Alia, do you want to do one more mention? We have a lot of new people on that weren't on earlier about the big event.
Sure. Friday at Dr. Kiltz's house on the 7th of February is a private barbecue fundraiser for Healing Humanity. A ticket for that party is $750. You can buy it right now. The links are everywhere. And that money is going to Healing Humanity. And it's very important because we have a lot of money to fundraise still to get this documentary out. You guys are done shooting, right? Basically?
Not quite yet.
Oh, okay. They're
We're
almost
very
done
close.
shooting.
Just a handful.
All the editing is like $1 zillion a minute. So we need to raise some more funds. So Dr. Kiltz is kind enough to let us have a party at his house where he's going to have us eating Bighorn Mountain steaks.
and you'll get a chance to meet Bella and Lisa and Carrie and Adam and Dr. Nelson and others who, again, it's really a unique opportunity. And I feel blessed to be able to hang out with these people also, because we're just all sharing something that's so remarkably important that as physicians, I know Dr. Nelson, Dr. Wiedemann, we've never seen anything like this in medicine before. That carnivore, keto's good, helped a lot of people. I did it for a number of years prior to finding carnivore nearly 15 years ago, and it's just changed my life immensely. And it brings you into this amazing community. So really, really an opportunity to get a chance to one-on-one talk to some of these amazing experts in the world.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, can I just talk about Saturday real quick? Do you want to pull up the Tampa meetup, Texas de Brazil promo?
Absolutely.
So we are doing a second day. There's a meetup. This is a lie. There's only 42 more seats available. So you have to get your ticket fast. By Monday, we're going to have a second location nailed down, and I will email everybody where that is going to be, and we will promote it. But we're going to start the meetup at 8 o'clock in the morning. So Texas de Brazil, 125 or 300 if you want to sit with these superstars at lunch. Again, all of the profits are going to Healing Humanity. So make sure you get your tickets fast. I'm not lying. We sold the first 75 tickets like super duper fast. And then I was getting emails. I want to buy my ticket. So I had to arrange more seats. So please do it quick. There you go.
Thank you, Alia. All right. We have a super chat. Yulian, I've been on carnivore diet for 2.5 months. My HSCRP has gone up 4, though I feel great and have lost weight. My IVF outcomes haven't improved yet. What else can I do to lower inflammation?
Well, sometimes there may be some endometriosis or endometritis that may need some other treatments. We often use, believe it or not, like big gun antibiotics for a month or surgical intervention. And there are some other things on the immune side that may be helpful. And if you go to cnyfertility.com, you can also get the family building guide, which is also on Amazon, and also Kiltz's Keto is Carnivore. But I think that there always may be some things that we haven't found yet and tweaked yet, but don't give up yet and have faith and keep going at it.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Kiltz. One more super chat. Target Prime Rib, $2 super chat. Thank you for that. You all rock. You guys do all rock.
You rock.
Right?
You rock, yeah.
You rock.
Thank you, Target Prime Rib. I just wanted to say all of these amazing panelists up here today, they do rock, and there's a link in the description for each of their YouTube channels. So if you're not following them, go subscribe and support them. And it's really important we elevate the voices of these awesome individuals that are getting the word out. So thank you, Target Prime Rib, for that. All right. And then the next question we have is from Christina G. Should I get special blood work done now? I think I know what Dr. Kiltz's answer is.
Yeah, and what is special about blood work or special blood work? I mean, if you're looking at getting a standard, blood work done, most of the time people are just trying to pacify loved ones who are freaking out that they're eating an all meat diet. I don't feel like we should be chasing numbers. And it really depends on your particular situation. But in general, I'll say I'm one that I pretty much just stopped testing my blood because, no animals out there test their blood. Nobody's trying to figure out if they're in the normal range, outside the normal range. But it comes from having the confidence that I know I'm eating the proper human diet. So
there's no evidence that routine exams, health exams, make us healthier. They usually will find something that they're going to work to put you on a medication, a drug. And I just find that this is the problem with healthcare costs. They're going up and up and up, and we're getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And carnivore is the game changer.
Dr. Kiltz, could you remind us, how long have you been doing carnivore?
Nearly 15 years, and I'm almost 70. And prior to that, I was keto, paleo, Atkins. I did everything imaginable until I ran into someone just like all of you that was doing carnivore, and they were healthy and well, and like they didn't exercise, they looked ripped, and I'm like, that's my diet.
Nice. And Bella, you've been about 6 years?
6 years. Yep.
Wow. And Dr. Wiedemann, I think you win, right?
yeah, March 9th is 16 years.
Wow. That's incredible. I people are always worried about carnivore like for long term, and here you have several examples. And the thing that's interesting to me is, Dr. Kiltz, like your energy is incredible. It's crazy. Dr. Wiedemann the same, Bella the same. So it's like that's what we have to look forward to as carnivores if you're just starting out. Like Kelly Hogan, every carnivore I know that's been doing this for a long time, they're just incredible, like incredible energy and health, I would say. So, all right, next question we have is from Salvador. I've been on the carnivorous diet for 8 months. I'm carrying out the mitochondrial protocol to forge my solar cavity. At what time of day, in what solar position would it be best to eat meat?
When you're hungry.
Let me look closely at the crystal of life. Yeah, as Lisa said, when you're hungry, I typically eat at night before I go to bed. Not right away, but I like to wait. I like to wait for that beautiful, amazing meal at the end of the end of the work day or wherever it's going on. So it's. Do you have any, Bella? What time of day do you usually eat?
I love eating at night. So when I heard you just now that you typically eat at night, I actually sometimes intentionally eat at night just to knock myself out because I'm so energetic. Like I love sleeping so deeply after eating a nice hearty carnivore meal. So I'll do night and then most days a breakfast as well.
So today, Tia got me a new egg poacher. So we made poached eggs, and I made some really great bacon and butter, bacon, and eggs. And then afterwards, I said I went and took myself like a 30-minute nap. It was so beautiful on a Saturday.
It feels so good. Yeah.
Oh, so good. So there was the woman or whoever asked about the infertility and endometriosis. Endometritis, and think about diverticulitis and diverticulosis. And I know there's stuff for the eyes and the skin and every other organ system of our body. They're all itises and osices, which are just inflammatory conditions that are treated either with an antibiotic or an anti-inflammatory or something else. And then when it comes to endometriosis, we use Lupron or other things, but you remove the toxins and carnivore, fatty meat, fasting. Oh my God, bingo. And for women, it's interesting. The inflammation in the gut goes out the rectum anus into the vagina, every single disease that we're treating is secondary to the colon's infections and the bowel's infections. Heal the bowel, heal the body.
All right. Should we do the drawing for the Redmond Salt Shaker now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Here we go. Drum roll.
82.
The winner of the Redmond's Portable Salt Shaker is Brian Stevens. Congratulations, Brian.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Adam, how can Brian claim his prize?
Well, Carrie, Brian, you can go to healinghumanity.movie/giveaway and fill out the form there, and we will get your salt shaker to you promptly. Congratulations.
Do we
All
have
right.
it? How much more time do we have?
I was just going to say, for anyone that's got to run, feel free. I'll stand for a little while longer. There's 1,428 people here, but for the panelists, I know some are going to jump on and off. You feel free if you gotta run.
Can I offer a prize?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
Oh,
go.
nice.
A signed copy of Kiltz's Keto as Carnivore.
Woo.
Nice.
Hashtag,
Excellent. That's a great book,
mighty.
too.
Hashtag mighty.
Hashtag mighty. Post your questions, comments right now with hashtag mighty for a signed copy of Dr. Kiltz's book. Post them right now. Fire it up. All right. Got that one going. Steve is asking, what meetup? I live in South Carolina on the 28th. I'm driving to Florida to meet Old Guy Carnivore and about 20 people at a Brazilian restaurant. Alia?
It's a different meetup, I believe, than his. But okay, Tampa on the 8th of February. Be there, be square. The link is in the chat. It's $125 a ticket for that specific meetup. And you get all the profits go to Healing Humanity. I'll put the link back in the chat. Make sure you're there, everybody. Let's go.
Awesome. And the link is in the description too, as well as the links for all of the individuals on the call right now. So check that out. Make sure you subscribe to everyone here.
And
Question for Dr. Kiltz. Yep.
Can they go to Healing Humanity or drkiltz.com? Just other places to find it. You know, people are like, oh, well, just go to Healing Humanity. It's going to be their link, correct, Adam?
Right.
Adam?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
And on drkiltz.com, it'll pop up on the screen. And then there's also another link. It's easy to find.
Cool.
Awesome. drkiltz.com and kiltzmeetup.com. Question for Dr. Kiltz, trying to help a friend, 39, diabetic PCOS, trying to conceive her first child. Sent her your protocol, but she's resistant to going carnivore. Is there still any chance for pregnancy?
Always a chance. God wants to make babies. And I always say, just, encourage the carnivore, be the example. My copy of our books, share them. And the stories, if you go to cnyfertility.com, we have a lot of stories, and drkiltz.com. And we're all here to share. And inflammation, once again, but I always say, if you tell your husband how wonderful he is and you feed him steak and eggs every day and make love to him every day, that's how you make babies.
And eat steak.
Right.
If they're not
All right.
willing to go carnivore, though, at least if they're willing to go very low carbohydrates and a keto diet, that might be a start, because that's where probably most of us started, except Bella, who went head first into carnivore one day from
Nobody
being
liked that
vegan to the other. But start where you can start.
And high fat.
Eventually, you
Add the fat, right? Dr. Nelson, add the fat.
high fat, yes.
Yeah, high fat. Add the fat. See, I think it's high fat. I don't like to use low carb because technically I don't even know what a carbohydrate is actually, but I'd say you're saying add the fat and you will suppress inflammation, increase your odds of pregnancy, because really nobody eats fat. If you really look at the diets everyone's eating, plants, lean meat, and vegetable oil. There's no fat in that.
Right. Yeah, I think much of us are deficient in fat. I think I was before finding carnivore. All right, we have a super chat from Sisse. Dr. Lisa, which is more beneficial, dry fast or water fast, and how long?
Well, I have really done a lot of self experiences instead of self experimentation. I just like to call it experience because I have read the works of Filanoff. I've read the works of Dr. August Dunning, and I became fascinated with the whole concept of dry fasting, that 1 day of dry fasting is equivalent to 3 days of water fasting. In a dry fast, your body turns to its own fat tissue to manufacture endogenously within your body the water that it needs. And I found it much easier to do. And according to those two experts that I spoke about, they absolutely adamantly feel that dry fasting has a lot more benefits over water fasting, and that they would not ever water fast knowing what they know about the differences between them. So I say give it a try. Start with the 24 hours of a dry fast. I thought I would be so parched and thirsty, and I really wasn't. And like I said, it was a lot easier than the water fasting.
And Dr. Lisa, you've done, how many days are your longest dry fast?
So I did a 5-day dry fast, only one, because I don't feel it's something that is one that you repeat often. I think easily 36 hour to 72 hours, something you can do with some frequency, but a 5 to 7 day is a pretty long one. And I would do that. I would, unless you've got a lot of weight to lose and you're just doing it for health issues, then once a year is good for the long dry fast.
And by the way, as Lisa spoke, we make water always through the mitochondria, because the mitochondria takes acetyl-CoA and makes ATP, H2O, and CO2. But every protein you make, every addition of an amino acid to another amino acid shoots off water also. So our body makes water all day long.
Yeah, it's amazing. Through a 5-day, had not a single, anything to eat or drink. You go to the bathroom through the whole thing. So it's case in point that your body is making the water.
Right. I just wanted to second this as well, what Dr. Lisa said. I did my first dry fast about 2 weeks ago. I did a 3-day dry fast. And just like Dr. Lisa said, it was incredible. Like I thought I'd be so thirsty and hungry. I've done multiple water fasts. I did an 8-day water fast, a couple 5-day water fasts, and the dry fast was far easier than anyone I've done before. And I just recommend to people, like, I'm not advocating like everyone should do this, but if you're interested, get that book Dr. Lisa mentioned, The Phoenix Protocol. It's an incredible book. And the last thing I'll say that's so interesting, you kind of touched on this, but it said it in the book. They actually measured their urine output. And on day like 4, 5, 6, 7, without drinking any water whatsoever, there's more output because we produce water, like Dr. Kiltz mentioned. It's kind of a fascinating thing. But I plan to do some more dry fasting because I felt incredible doing it. And I felt better than when I did the wet fast. So it's something I'm going to do more. But it's worth exploring if you're interested. Check out that book. It's a great book.
We have a super chat from Target Prime Rib.
Had to say this. So Dr. Kiltz, if I look and have your energy as good as you at 70, I will be ecstatic, which will be in 18 years.
Young. We're all getting younger every day. That's the important thing. It's a mindset. That's the critical part. But you're all the aches and pains just like drop away on carnivore.
Question from Viva. Any chance of coming to Connecticut? Chance of seizure disorder diagnosed at a 23-year-old being able to stop seizure meds? I don't know, Adam. Do we have any? I don't know if we have any meetups planned in Connecticut, but maybe at some point.
Sounds like we need to.
Right?
Well, that's close enough to Syracuse. I'm thinking we need a Syracuse.
Yeah, we're doing one in September. One in September. Cruise Northeast, something like that.
I
For my,
have a
for my birthday. 24 hours.
Alia, the meetup in Tampa.
Yeah.
How much does it cost for the remaining tickets, which includes the 8 a.m. to 11 and the Texas to Brazil? What do those cost?
$125.
$125. So I want everyone to know the meetup is $125.
Yeah.
Not $750. The
Yeah.
$750 is a special donation and a meetup at my house on Friday night. But again, the meetup at $125 to meet these amazing people, have a great conversation, a great meal is radical affordable.
Sounds like the drum roll.
What's the drum roll? Bella.
Sorry about
All right.
that.
No. Speaking of drum roll, we're giving away a signed copy of Dr. Kiltz's book, an incredible book, by the way. You have to use #Mighty. Kiltz Mighty Tribe. So #Mighty with your question. Let's see. The next question we have
Got
is
some more supers in there.
All right, let's check out the super chats first. Sherry Morgan, if dry fasting is healthy for us, why are we told we will die going without water for a couple days? Any thoughts? Thanks. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, think of all of the information we're told that is incorrect. And I've had people who wrote to me during my 5-day that you're going to die. Why are you doing this? You can't go more than 2 days without water. And I go, yeah, watch me. It's totally wrong information that you're going to die without water for a couple days. It's ridiculous.
Right. That's why I always encourage people to read the book, because Dr. Lisa, I had the same thing. I wish I never announced that. I had so many people, what are you doing? This is crazy. And it's almost like people talking about carnivore that aren't familiar with carnivore, how carnivore is so crazy. You can't do that kind of thing.
Kill yourself with all that red fatty meat. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing. Another super chat, RC Kingdom. Thank you so much. Can you do a fast while working out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the dry fasting, I know Dr. Dunning mentions take it easy, just chill, but I did my normal twice a week weightlifting, and I felt totally fine. Did you work out, Carrie? And I went for my walks.
I did. I walked a little bit and exercised with my dry fast. Just real quick, when I did the 8-day water fast, I was doing pull-ups every day and maxing out. And by day 8, I was able to do more than I ever have my whole life. It was the craziest thing. Like, didn't eat anything. I was drinking water during that one. But yeah, I was able to work out and exercise and actually increase that throughout the fast, which is kind of mind-blowing. It's really weird how some of that works.
Remember, the food you eat is not the fuel for the body. It's the fat on your body. We never burn the food. It must be converted to fat in the liver. So this is the thing that most people don't get. Sugar is not the energy for the mitochondria ever. It's always the fat. We get fat to survive famines, nesting, hibernation, migration, and it is basically we're lied to. Sugar, glucose is never the energy. Fat is.
Along with that, there's a gentleman that actually ran 5 marathons in a row while fasted. So that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Wow. All right. One more super chat from NJ Cardmaker. $5 super chat. Been carnivore for 8 months with many cheat days with slow weight loss of about 30 pounds. Can you comment on diet beverages like Propel or iced tea and snacking?
Well, it depends on how, you got to do hard things and you have to make a change, and change is hard and change is not comfortable. And all these things that you cling to, these things that you're cheating on, these chemical drinks these companies are making and putting in plastic bottles. And think about that. Like, the thing that you really need to give up is that thing that you cling so hard, to keep. And you got to think about that. And Suck it up, Buttercup. Just do it.
Oh, come on, Lisa, please. Yeah, it's all deadly drugs they're giving us. Go ahead, Dr.
Cheat
Nelson.
days, I call cheat days sabotage days.
Sabotage. Sabbath.
That's what you're doing. You're sabotaging your efforts. If you're really doing this for whatever reason you're doing it, some do it to get improvement in medical problems or weight, but you're taking one step forward and two backwards by cheating days. You're sabotaging yourself.
I call them treating days. I will treat from time to time, but not all the time. Kiltz's ice cream with any sweet is off limits all the time. It's from time to time. And this is the thing that you can treat, but never cheat. It gets you in trouble.
Yeah, I'll say with this too, just based on the addictions calls that we have, there's a lot of people out there that can't do these diet drinks that have the sweeteners in them because it will trigger, wanting to eat addictive foods. So I don't know, maybe that's potentially why you're having your quote unquote cheat days if you are including these other types of drinks, because it's triggering the same response in you with those addictive foods that you actually have. So maybe experiment with cutting them out and see if it helps.
We've been purposely drugged and called addicted. I don't think we are addicted. We're simply in an environment where there's the foods that are not natural to us in our environments all the time. Sweet things were there, small amounts, infrequently, but basically they're claiming you're addicted. They're claiming you're dysfunctional and an eating disorder. But once again, I think it's propaganda. You need to get rid of the things that are basically led to feed, basically. We're led to slaughter. We're not grazing animals. As I was driving around today to go to pick some stuff up at the art store, I'm just noticing the size of the supermarkets. I mean, how many things? I mean, I buy like 5 things now. And we are in an environment of addiction. And that's why I think the meetups and the communities where you get a chance to really hear the language of what a lion is, and then you feel more comfortable staying in that lane.
All right. I'll just add one thing real quick, because I get this comment from people often where they're struggling on carnivore for months and months, and often they're keeping diet beverages like Propel or iced tea. And I know for me, when I was doing keto, I would try to moderate things like that, and I could never moderate them. And I would constantly have cravings, and it would constantly be a struggle, and it made things so much harder. So I always suggest to people, like, if you're going to try carnivore for some major health reason and you're going to commit to 30 days, then do it strictly for 30 days and don't keep any of those things in there, because it's just going to make it so much harder for you. It's a lot easier when you get over that, and you can just kind of be clear of it going forward. So, all right, next question we have is 4.5 months into carnivore, dairy-free since 1/1 after 2 years keto, and still have nighttime leg cramps no matter how many electrolytes I take.
Stop taking electrolytes altogether and see what happens.
Yeah, and I love that suggestion. And because of this lady down here that doesn't do salt, she inspired me to not do salt, and it cured my nausea that I was having for a year, and also leg cramps at night. So go figure. They always say if you have leg cramps, get your electrolytes. Pour a bunch of salt on your food, and it was the exact opposite for me. So maybe look into that as well.
Dr. Nelson, in general, how many people that are healthy have electrolyte problems?
Pretty much none.
We don't have electrolyte problems. That's not our problem. I think I don't know. I always throw in that. What about stretching and we're not doing some things that might help us a little bit more also. Yoga, stretching,
enough exercise, and I'm not talking about going to the gym and lifting weights. I'm talking about our life is so sedentary compared to hundreds of years ago. Just my grandparents and their grandparents, they never had the slew of problems that we have with, and it didn't matter what they ate. Of course, my grandparents were up in the mountains. They had chickens and a cow and goats, and they were not eating all the crap in the supermarket that I don't call food anymore, but that we call food. Just because you can eat it doesn't mean you should. So sometimes the cramps might be a reflection of drinking too much water, not that they're not drinking electrolytes. It might be an imbalance. But yeah, that's a good suggestion from Dr. Lisa. Stop the electrolytes, see what happens.
All right. Hey, real quick on that topic. Yesterday, Jen and I went to lunch at Culver's and we got a bunch of burger patties. And a woman that worked there came up to us and she's like, I like how you guys are eating. You're doing it right. And we started talking to her. She was, I think, 81 years old, and she's doing carnivore for a couple of years now. And she overcame type 2 diabetes. She's off all of her medications. And her grandkids joke with her that plants are trying to kill grandma. So she's like, stay away from plants, grandma. So it was very awesome to see. I love seeing that. And Dr. Nelson, she said the same thing as you. She's like, when we were younger, we didn't eat all of this poison, garbage, toxic stuff. We'd have meat, we'd have potatoes, but it was clean stuff now. But now she's fully carnivore. So it's really encouraging. I think like carnivore is really, really spreading. It's just, I'm running into people on the street now and talking to them. So it's pretty cool. All right, question from Van Phillips. What is the flora of a nursing carnivore mom that gets passed in the milk? The understanding is that the mother's gut flora will influence what gut flora of a baby. Maybe you have never considered this.
Well, microbes are everywhere. And so you can never get rid of them technically. I personally think they're not good for us in the way that we've been teaching it by taking probiotics. And so the skin has it, they're going to pass some. I don't measure the microbes. I don't think that that it's important in the way we talk about it personally.
All right. Another question here. Any advice for treating, managing severe OCD with carnivore? If so, how would you go about it and what foods would you recommend?
First, I recommend go and read the books by Dr. Georgia Eid and Dr. Christopher Palmer. And if you're eating carnivore, basically you're doing it.
Yeah. Fatty meats. Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind by Dr. Eid's incredible book. And Dr. Kiltz book right there.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, it's so simple. And any of these people here just have these lists right on their blogs. And, this isn't complicated. You don't need a cookbook. You don't need some, craziness. It really is fatty meat, salt, water. Now, again, you don't need the salt. That's my preference. And as Lisa says, for some people, they don't do well with milk products, and milk is for a baby from a breast. Until you're off of that, you go to meat off the bone. That's the healthiest thing we can do.
Hey, it's carnivore coach Lisa Pickert. She's going to be joining us at our Tampa meetup.
Yeah.
Shout out Coach Lisa. She's incredible. Approximately how much meat a day?
Like we eat each, all of us?
Yep.
I think so.
Oh, I'll say 2 to 3 pounds currently.
I don't track it.
2 pounds for me.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think I'm around.
I at your ages, that's what I did, but I ate maybe half a pound. I do about a fistful. See, I don't measure, just about a fistful. I use my eyes to determine what I eat, about a fistful a day.
Is that because you filled up on Kiltz's ice cream?
Not yesterday.
Okay.
Not yesterday. Time to time.
I had yesterday, yesterday I had about 20 ounces of ground beef with a cup of eggs, and today I had about 16 ounces of ground beef with 4 eggs, all scrambled. And I put the eggs to be able to absorb the fat from that comes out of the ground beef.
You see, it's all determined by the amount of your size, how much activity you do, and again, I do fatty meat, which is twice the calories of lean meat, and I'm betting most carnivores do a lot of lean meat and they overcook it. Remember, when you cook your meat, what happens to the fat? It melts away and it's rendered. It's not the same as raw meat, and that's what I eat is pretty much raw fatty meat. Black and blue or purely blue.
And you're not eating any more additional fat than that fistful of meat?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else?
Nothing
Just
else.
fistful of fatty meat.
Fistful of fatty meat. Might I dip it in butter? Sometimes. Not all the time.
I eat at least 2 or 3 fistfuls of fatty meat.
But again, we're all different. That's the beauty. Again, there isn't one size in the sense of what you should eat. There's no magic here. Eat till you're full. Eat what you feel is comfortable for you. This is not a like, oh, you didn't eat that, or you should have eaten, or eat too much. It is what is right for you.
I love that advice too, because I get that question a lot. Tell me exactly what you're eating, and even what I'm eating today is far different than what I ate a couple months ago. So it's kind of changes. So eat till you're comfortably full. Carnivore Chans is asking, hey Kiltz, how is the fast going?
Well, I did my fast a week ago, 5 days fasting, amazing. November, I did 7 days for the first time. And, it's one of the best things we can do. And again, boy, I went 5 days, no food. I didn't measure this or anything. So, it's a game changer, I think, fasting for everyone. Food freedom.
All right. I want to be respectful of everyone's time here. We've been on for an hour 46. Maybe we go another 14 minutes or so to 2 hours total. Sound good? Awesome. So we'll try to power through some of these questions.
Carnivore Chance had a question about seizures, which I don't know if you guys got to, but I wanted to because it was pertinent. Seizures was one of the first things that ketogenic diets were used on for treatment, and it's still very effective, but you need to talk to your neurologist about coming off medications if you're going to use a ketogenic diet to help with seizures.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. Emily, my husband no longer farts. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
We pass gas silently.
He still does. He still does. He just, you don't smell it anymore.
Right?
And it's quiet. It's quiet and smellless.
Watch out for don't get your husband any of these either. It can be troublesome. Carbonation. All right, next question is, does anyone know what causes the arteries to be blocked and how long it took for symptoms to show?
Dr. Nelson.
Well, first of all, it doesn't happen from one day to the other. It's a process that may take many years to form. The plaques, of course, this is one of the biggest controversies among the people who claim the plants are better or meat is better, cholesterol is high. Do I pay attention to the cholesterol? Dr. Kiltz, do you pay attention to your cholesterol?
I have high cholesterol, and I know it's the very best thing in the universe. And I never measure it.
But about the process, definitely it takes a long time. It doesn't happen overnight. And I have my serious doubt that cholesterol itself is the problem. I think sugar, insulin are probably the initiating factor in inflammation, which then unleashes a series of events The Clot Thickens is a good book. You can read about that. The Clot Thickens by Dr. Kendricks, I believe.
All right. All right. There it is.
No, this is a different one, but it's
another one.
basically
Okay.
fat and cholesterol doesn't cause heart disease. And the really, I mean, this is the truth, not the lies.
Right. And shout out Dr. Filippo Vadia, who will be at the meetup. He's done several really good videos on the topic as well. Question for Bella. Can you please tell us how you make short ribs or flanken ribs?
I either oven bake or I cook it in my air fryer. So for oven, I just do 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 to 45 minutes. And then for air fryer, I'll do 400 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. It depends on how thick your flanken short ribs are. So keep an eye.
I have a question for Bella. Can you tell us? Now, we love watching you cook, by the way, and feed Max, and it all. But are you working with someone on a new coaching for people that are just starting carnivore? Dr. Sean, did I see something?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So for World Carnivore Month, which is this month, January, I collaborated with Sean to bring a easy to digest carnivore course. So what ended up happening was we were in town, like right now, Seattle, and we were hanging out with Sean, and we said, look, if this month is World Carnivore Month, can we whip out the camera and just film the most popular carnivore questions? He sat down, like in the moment, answered all of the questions so perfectly, so like in just a way where you watch it and you understand really quickly. And so for those who want a carnivore course where you just watch videos, that's available. And yeah, Dr. Baker's awesome. Seriously, one of the kindest people that I've met.
He is amazing. Where do people go to find that?
Yeah, so you can go to sbgmeetup.com, meet as in MEAT. You can also just DM me and I'll send you the link if you guys want. Thanks for that, Dr. Kiltz.
Awesome. All right, we have a couple minutes left, and we have a whole bunch of people that are interested in winning Dr. Kiltz signed book. So you get it in. Just got a couple minutes. We're going to do the drawing. Hashtag Mighty for a chance to win that signed book from Dr. Kiltz. Hashtag Mighty. Couple more questions here.
We still have over 1,500 people watching. That's amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Whoa.
Y'all are incredible.
Question for Adam. We know that kangaroo is your favorite meat. What is the second one?
Giraffe. That's a ruminant meat. No, that would be ribeye.
And in Chicago, Adam, Carrie, and Lisa and I went to Gibson's Steakhouse and had the most amazing steak. And there was something that both Carrie and Adam have never eaten. So that's the question. What was it?
Leave a comment. Guess.
Leave a comment.
Adam had two things.
Yeah,
Adam ate two things that day that he's never had.
I had four first that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, at that dinner, there were two things that Adam missed, and one thing that Carrie tried for the first time also.
Leave your guess. Hashtag Mighty.
Rick
Hashtag
said iguana.
Mighty.
No, it's not iguana, Rick.
All right. Let's see. Another question we have here. Can you do the dry fast with chronic kidney disease? I'm battling to improve that.
I bet yes. You still got fat. You're still making water. They're pushing too much water on us. And this idea of flushing your kidneys out, Dr. Nelson, does it make any sense?
Yeah. On the fasting and the kidney, the flushing with too much fluid or too much electrolytes. First of all, water will continue to be made. But the question specifically about, can you do chronic kidney disease? Are there any studies backing up that science? Not many. I can say it's going to harm you, though, because we're not working on the kidney when we're fasting. We're working on giving the GI tract a rest. And if you're doing dry fasting, you're going to make water from the fat. I wouldn't do it while you're feeling sick, though. I don't know if that answered your question, Dr. Kiltz.
Yeah, so bears and many other animals hibernate for 6 months. They drink nothing, eat nothing, they piss and poop nothing, and they only lose fat. They lose no muscle and no bone density, and they build baby bears. So our knowledge of physiology of body,
baby bears.
That's up to 4 actually, but our knowledge of the physiology of the human body is all wrong. We are so wrong most of the time. Not Dr. Nelson and me, though.
Question from Bill. I was diagnosed with high cholesterol, LVH, and heart failure. How can that be cured? Can that be reversed?
I think that's for Carrie, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm an anecdote, of course, but I had congestive heart failure. My ejection fraction was 44. This is all in my medical records. I've shared it all. I had a lifelong irregular heartbeat, and I had high blood pressure. And 1 year on carnivore, I went in and I got it all tested, and my congestive heart failure is completely reversed. And my lifelong irregular heartbeat is completely normal for the first time in 43 years at the time that I got it checked. So it's kind of crazy. It blows my mind. Most people that are diagnosed with congestive heart failure don't only go and eat meat. So it's kind of uncharted territory, but we filmed Dr. Ovadia for the documentary and also on YouTube, like asking him about this. And I know that the heart performs much more efficiently while in ketosis. Electrolytes can also help with some of those things. Losing weight can also help with some of those things. And the last thing I can say on it is, I know I'm an anecdote, but since I've done that video, I've had dozens and dozens of people say that they've done the exact same thing. They've reversed their congestive heart failure and or irregular heartbeat eating a carnivore diet. So
I want to mention my sister, Mary Ann, who had diabetes since age 4. She passed of heart failure at age 52. She was a rock star. And I can tell you it was all secondary to plant-based diet. And unfortunately, but she teaches me every day. So she inspires me to share the story, like Carrie's story of healing on carnivore. We want others to know about carnivore. Even the type 1 and diabetics can do carnivore so amazingly well.
Absolutely. All right, we're getting to the top of the hour. How about we do this drawing for the Dr. Kiltz book, #Mighty. Before we do that real quick, Alia, maybe we should do one more shout out because we have 1,550 people now. There's a lot of new people that weren't on here earlier.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this as least complicated as possible. 2 days of events. Day number 1, Friday on February 7th, the second month of the year, February 7th, 4 to 7 at Dr. Kiltz's house is a fundraiser for Healing Humanity. You can buy a ticket for $750. That covers going to Dr. Kiltz's house for the Healing Humanity fundraiser, plus all activities the next day. And you can sit at the VIP table the next day. That covers that. Or Texas de Brazil, and an earlier start time than Texas de Brazil. It's going to be at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we are finalizing the location for that. That is $125. Or you can alternatively pay $300 and sit at a VIP table and get swag. There's links everywhere. You want to sign up. The first 75 tickets went very fast. I arranged to get 50 more, and then we're down to like 42. So there you go. 42 more tickets. Anyone have any questions? Put that in the chat so I can answer it in the next 1 minute.
Thank you, Alia. All right, we're gonna give away a book right now, a signed copy from Dr. Kiltz Here we go. Drum roll, please. We need a drum roll sound effect.
Oh, Paula! Yeah.
Follow! Congratulations!
Paula. Wow.
Adam.
Hey.
This is actually Dr. Kiltz. Where do they go to claim the prize, Dr. Kiltz?
Well, how about Alia at drkiltz.com?
Yeah, Ollie at
Yep.
drkiltz.com will handle that for you.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Awesome.
And do they usually go to where do they usually go to for the other prizes?
Yeah, we have a form, but it's kind of made for the prizes that we have. So there's like a drop down shirt or salt or whatever.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, Alia, if they go to you and for some reason, but yeah, we'll just go to Alia at drkiltz.com. We'll get it for Paola Molinari.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you all so much. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you to all of the experts here that joined us. I really appreciate it. Anyone want to shout out anything or mention anything before we wrap up?
I just want to shout out Bella. I mean, she's a superstar and she came to join us tonight. And thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Bella.
I'm so happy to be here and happy to be in the lives anytime. This was so much fun. Thank you guys.
And she's going on the cruise with Dr. Lisa, and then everyone here will be at the meetup in Tampa. Again, lots of great, amazing information, and come by and listen, learn, and ask questions.
It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Dr. Lisa. Thank you, Dr. Nelson. Thank you, Dr. Kiltz, Bella, Alia, Adam. Everyone have a good night. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye. Sleep
Love
well.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Good night,
Night,
all.
all.
Much love.